What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video of Steven Does Things Way Too Late, we're checking out Born to Die from Lana Del Rey. Before we get into today's video, please make sure to smash that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 200,000 subscribers on this channel, and I really can't do that without you, so thank you so much in advance. Now look, I get it. Norman Rockwell just came out today, and I was having a moment where I was trying to figure out what to do, because on one hand, sure, I could do Norman Rockwell and get a lot of views from that and get a lot of people who like Lana Del Rey, and then I could go through her journey with them on my channel already, and then we could just enjoy all these albums together. But there were mixed reviews on that idea. I put a Twitter poll up, and actually Born to Die was the one everybody wanted me to check out, and Norman Rockwell did not win that vote. Although it had like 40% of the votes, it did not win. And I really like that, because what it showed me is that you guys care more about me checking out her discography as a whole rather than just one album, and for that, I'm super appreciative. I'm really glad that I asked for your support, because now I know. I'm super excited to check this album out, so I cannot wait to listen to that today. So as usual, just make sure you guys follow me, make sure you do all that stuff. There's social media up here, links are in the description. I'm active on all of those places, so make sure to check those out. Without further ado, let's check out Lana Del Rey's album from 2012, Born to Die. I love the production in this song. So good. God, the way everything comes together in the chorus. Okay, so even though I had heard Summertime Sadness in the past, Born to Die and Blue Jeans were like my first real introductions to Lana Del Rey. I did those on my channel, I watched the music video, and it was more than just passive listening. Anytime I'd ever heard Summertime Sadness, it was always passively playing in like a mall or something. I never really got to sit down and enjoy it. What I love about this song, and sort of it being my introduction, is I think it really shows off the style Lana Del Rey makes. Now, I do know that every album she has tried something a little bit different. She does a lot of experimenting, but for this album, I feel like this song is really gonna set the tone for the rest of it, just because I do know what Blue Jeans sounds like, and I know what Summertime Sadness sounds like. I can definitely pick vibes of that up off this song. So the next track we're gonna listen to is Off to the Races.
He doesn't mind to have a Las Vegas past. He doesn't mind to have a LA swimming pool, glimmering light, white bikini outfit, my light of my life, fire in my lungs, be a good baby, do what I want.
My pool of songs that I've heard from her really have never had this kind of sound before. That whole first, 41 seconds was so much hip-hop inspired, and a lot of people wanted me to watch Born to Die because they said I would enjoy that part of this album a lot. But it's very interesting to hear her now singing in this higher tone and delivering this like either pre-chorus or chorus. Hey! There's so much to take in this track right here. So one, was definitely not expecting this type of style. It's very experimental. There's a lot of hip-hop elements. There's also a little bit of rock and dance elements in this as well. So I love the way she blended all that instrumentation together to create this song. What I liked is that she kept changing her vocal style for every time the beat would change a little bit. At one point, we got these much higher vocals than I've ever heard her sing in. Usually in the pre-chorus and right in the chorus. She does this like intentional voice break when she says like the word Scarlet in a couple times, and I think that's probably my favorite part of this song, just because again, it's something I wouldn't have expected from her, but at the same time, it's something that I haven't heard a lot of anyways, and when you hear it done that way over the beat and you start to put everything together, it just really creates a cool moment on this album. Again, what I really want to point out here is just the fact that this was very experimental and not something I was expecting to hear at all, and that, you know, that's what I expect is going to happen through Lana Del Rey's music, is it's always going to have her unique sound, but I don't think the style is always going to be the same. But we'll know that as we go through all the albums, because as I told you guys, your boy is going to be the biggest Lana Del Rey fan by the end of all of this. The next track we're going to listen to is called Blue Jeans. So many samples that remind me of like Kanye West era type of hip hop. Just so many like vocal samples that are happening in the back, and this is Off to the Races sort of had that same sort of hip hop sample vibe as well, and I'm really glad she's experimenting with that. Woo! So good. So I'm glad I'm not watching the music video with this one again, because I'm picking up a lot more in the instrumentation and vocals than I did originally. I think when you watch a music video sometimes, because it adds another element, your brain can only take in so much at once. So I'm actually glad that we're just listening to this by itself, and even though I've already heard the song before, it's almost like hearing it for the first time again. Love the way the drums come in like that. So I think what I like about that song and what it sort of signifies for me from Lana Del Rey, because she blends so many different genres and she takes elements from so many different styles of music, I think that she's going to end up creating, or she already has, a very diverse crowd. So I know a lot of people that listen to like a ton of like punk rock and metal and things like that love Lana Del Rey so much. At the same time, so many hip hop fans feel the same way. And I feel like people that were fans of like Woodstock era 50s, 60s, 70s type of music, listening to like Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane and stuff, I feel like you can bring all of those fans into this audience to support Lana, because she just uses so many great influences from those eras and sounds. And again, it's very easy to pick that up, especially on a song like Blue Jeans, where you can hear this vocal sample happening in the back the entire time, which is very much a Kanye West type inspired beat. But then she brings in the vocals of like a Jefferson Airplane type band, and it's just a really easy song to jam over and over. I also like that you can pretty much learn the words pretty quickly because of the way that she delivers her vocals. It's very easy to actually pick up all the lyrics and just start singing it. Even though that was only the second time I heard this song, I feel like I already knew a lot of the words. Okay, next track we're going to listen to is a song that actually you guys have requested me to watch the video of a lot, but I haven't got to yet. The song is called Video Games. Oh. I love that. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I love that this song is a little bit slower, but then she uses that moment to really show off her vocal talent. And it's like as soon as she starts singing, that's where you become in a trance and you're mesmerized. God, when that comes in. So this song was a lot slower than what we've had so far. You can definitely hear a broken sound of Lana as we're going through the verse of the song, and then when you get into the chorus, again, it breaks. You hear this really beautiful moment from Lana, really just showing off that vocal talent. Again, I'm really glad that we're seeing so much of it in this album. And some of my favorite lyrics, because it did take a little bit of listening to figure out what was going on. What I figured out, or at least what I've come to the conclusion, is it sounds like she's talking about having a good time, getting all dressed up, you know, really wanting to be with this guy, and everything that she's doing is for him, and he just wants to play his video game. And I feel like that's probably really normal in modern day society. I'm pretty sure a statistic came out and it was like more men would rather play video games than have sex. So even though the song came out in 2012, it's probably more relevant now than ever. But I really picked it up right here when she says, I'm in his favorite sundress. He's watching me get undressed, take that body downtown. I say you're the bestest, leaning for a big kiss, put his favorite perfume on, go play your video game. Like, here's everything for you, but you would rather do anything else than be with me. It's you, it's all for you, everything I do. I tell you all the time, heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you want to do. I heard that you like bad girls, honey. Is that true? It's better than I ever even knew. They say that the world was built for two, only worth living if somebody is loving you. Baby, now you do. So she's like in love with this man. She's obsessed with him, and he couldn't care less. He would rather just play video games. I think that you'd be a complete moron if Lana Del Rey is singing this song to you and you're too busy trying to play Fortnite than just hang out with Lana Del Rey. Same reason we watched the Doing Time video. Who would cheat on Lana? And then of course you tell me G-Eazy and some Italian photographer or something cheated on her. Like, who the fuck are they? They are completely irrelevant. How can you cheat on Lana Del Rey? She's a gift, a straight up gift. Leave it up to G-Eazy to be one of the dudes who cheats on her. Of course he does. Okay. The next song we're going to listen to is a song called Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew, baby, New York City.
Okay, so I'm already picking up hip hop influence again in a little bit of this beat. There's a little bit of like a rock vibe to it, sort of like a classic rock vibe, and then it's got an overall pop theme sound to it. Very much indie pop right here. Hey! The vocals in this, it amazes me just how many styles she has, because this may already be like the 4th or 5th different style we've heard in this song, and I can think of like Doing Time to be a 6th style that she does with her vocals. You know, sometimes you hear an artist do pretty much the same sound throughout an entire album, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it always amazes me when I hear an artist that already has a lot of vocal talent and is able to nail so many different styles in just one album. Definitely my favorite thing about that song had to be just the overall experimentation and blend of different genres. And I know that seems kind of like a cop-out to say because so many songs have that, but I think this one in particular stands out because there really was a hip-hop rock vibe that just happened here. And I love to hear this vocal style from her. I also enjoyed the cadence and the way that she delivered the verse and the choruses. And I like that, do you really think we'll be in love forever? Do you really think we'll be in love? Like, I like those lyrics of the song. Song title is very interesting. I didn't really pick up in the lyrics why it would be called that, but that's another thing I like about Lana is that there is no algorithm to what she's doing. There's nothing that like makes me think Lana Del Rey is ever trying to fit the mold or a trend of anything, which is probably another reason why I like her. Okay, so great song. Definitely one of those songs that I can't believe I haven't heard before because it had this like overwhelming pop element to it, and I feel like that song could have been in either a movie or on the radio, maybe as a single, just with how great that song was. Okay, next song is called National Anthem. Why is everything such a vibe on this album? Oh my god. I'm in love with Lana Del Rey. That is all.
We exist. Everybody knows it. It's a fact. I see the
Hey! The delivery of this song. I want to be Lana Del Rey's national anthem. If there's an application process I can go through, and I can submit the forms and I can get them inspected, and I'll have a notary public check it out as I fill it out to submit this, because this song, I feel like you can't listen to this song and not end up completely obsessed with Lana Del Rey. That's just my personal opinion, which is always right, so. A couple songs ago, she did say, you grew up on punk rock, I grew up on hip hop, or something like that. And I feel like this song is just a great way to show that she did grow up on hip hop. The delivery of the vocals here, there's so much to break down, so we're not going to get too crazy here. But what I will say is I love that she was able to give a hip hop verse but then belt out this chorus, and the whole song having this overwhelming sexual theme where this dude needs to honestly just be saying the pledge to Lana Del Rey. She is the national anthem. We need to be singing it. And she says, give me a standing ovation. There's just a lot of sexual themes overall, but damn, I can't imagine listening to the song and not becoming a huge fan right after. There's a way that she delivers everything. It's like she knows the sexiness. She knows what she's going to put out into the song. She knew the energy she wanted to create with it. And she did that and then some. I didn't expect to like this song so much. At first I thought it might be kind of cheesy, but after hearing all the experimentation going on with the beats and then the verse overall, leading to that belt out chorus, like I said, where Lana just sounds so good, it's like, just where do I submit my application? I would never have a chance, but that's okay. The next song we're gonna listen to is called Dark Paradise. God. I've kind of figured out that Lana Del Rey's, again, she doesn't have an algorithm, but a lot of her songs will use the verse to like build up this moment and bring everything together, because every time her chorus drops, it's honestly so epic and it immediately draws you in. She knows that too, because that's usually when her best vocals tend to happen, and it's where you feel the most emotion. Now I know that's probably standard in songwriting anyways, is to have the chorus be like the highlight of the song, but Lana doesn't seem to make it that way, because the verses are still just as incredible, but they do spend their time to build up that moment. My take on this song is that it's about Lana losing someone or mourning the loss of someone, and she's just going through it in this song. All my friends tell me I should move on. I'm lying in the ocean singing your song. Oh, that's how you sing it. Loving you forever can't be wrong. So even though this person's not here anymore, she can't move on. She's so in love with this person. Every time I close my eyes, it's like a dark paradise. No one compares to you. I'm scared that you won't be waiting on the other side. Every time I close my eyes, it's like a dark paradise. So she's nervous that when she finally dies and goes to wherever he is, that he won't be there anymore, or he won't be there waiting, which honestly, if I died, I'd still wait for Lana. There's no relief, I see you in my sleep, and everybody's rushing me, but I can feel you. There's no release, I feel you in my dreams telling me I'm fine. No one compares to you, but that there's no you except in my dreams tonight. I don't want to wake up from this tonight. So she's saying like, she'd rather just die and be with this person than to have to live life on Earth or wherever and having to constantly be reminded of him. You know, there's all these memories, and she's so in love with him even though he's no longer there. And I love that songwriting, and even though it's a topic that I feel has been done numerous times in songwriting, Lana does it just a little bit different, and with the medleys and everything she sings with, it makes it so much more of a beautiful moment. All right, the next song we're gonna listen to is a song called Radio.
Heavy words can bring me down. Even though it's not hard,
Oh.
I don't even think about it now, because even though it's what
Damn.
it was like, now I'm in the light. Pick me up and take me like a villain, 'cause my body's beat that should prevent them all, yeah.
Okay, so obviously listen to the song first. I think this is one of the catchiest choruses that I've heard on this entire album. There's something about the delivery and the wordplay here, and I thought it was really great. I was picking up on something, and so I pulled the lyrics up just to double check, and something is a little bit interesting. So what I feel about the song is I feel like it somehow has to be a song about finally being famous, and sort of like a song to everyone who thought maybe she wouldn't make it or that she couldn't make it. Or it could be that she did make it to this amazing status and it's not as great as it seems. And the reason I say that is because she says, now my life is sweet like cinnamon, like a fucking dream I'm living in. But I don't know how many of you guys realize that cinnamon is actually really bitter, especially if you have it by itself. And so I didn't know if maybe like, you know, she says, now my life is sweet like cinnamon, like it's actually bitter and it's become tough to try to deal with this stuff. Now, I'm just guessing here because there is no like definition of what this song is about. But that was the first thing I thought, is like, it wasn't sweet like sugar, because then at some point she does say, pick me up and take me like a vitamin, 'cause my body's sweet like sugar venom, oh yeah. So she does mention sugar in a different line, almost as if that's the sweetness, but she says sugar venom, which means like it's sweet poison, so it's not as great as it seems. I don't know, we're getting a little too analytical here, but when I was listening to the song, that was kind of picking up, was that first chorus when she says sweet like cinnamon, and I was like, okay, this song must have a double meaning to it, or I could just be way off and you guys actually know the truth about this song. You can let me know in the comment section. She also says, American dreams came true somehow. I swore I'd chase until I was dead. I heard the streets were paved with gold. That's what my father said. Almost as if she made it there and the streets weren't gold, but she believed it because her father told her that. I don't know, so we won't dive too much further into the lyrics because I don't really know what the original song meaning of that was, but again, I just loved how catchy the chorus was, despite the meaning behind it. The song overall just had a really great vibe, and I'm amazed that more of these songs, I do see them high up on the popularity scale. That song itself had 98 million plays already, but I do feel like some of these songs could have easily been singles overall. Like with that overall catchy chorus, I know she does say fuck in it, and I guess that would discredit the song for making it to the radio without being edited. And I feel like if you edited Lana Del Rey, it's just not the same. Like when she says fuck, it just hits different. Okay, the next song is called Carmen.
Darling, darling, doesn't have a problem. It's the girls, they all like Carmen.
Oh.
Gives up
I gotta rewind a little bit because this chorus, there's like something disturbing about it because the vocals aren't keeping up to the same beat that's happening in the back. It sounds like she may drop some vocals here, but just listen to this. Oh, that's messed up. The beat and the vocals never quite match, and I like that. It's super uncomfortable to listen to because your brain's gonna assume it's gonna sound a certain way. But then it, like, look, this will be the third time we've gone back and listened to this part. It hooks you in. Okay, so first I just want to go back and talk about the chorus. So the chorus had a very like disturbing tempo to it where the drums were off with the vocals. And again, it gives that uncomfortable feeling that I've talked about in Lana videos in the past. I think that's one of the reasons that like I tend to go back to her because it's such a unique way to deliver that, and you always remember those beats. It's weird how you can hear great beats all day, but when you hear one that is not quite hitting on tempo, but it's on purpose, those are the beats you always tend to remember. I don't know why that is. It's like a lot of rappers that sing off beat these days. Those tend to be the rappers that become even more famous because it's something that not everybody's doing. Now, I did have to look up the meaning to this song because listening to the lyrics and going back and reading through the lyrics, I couldn't seem to figure out really who the song was about. I didn't know if she was singing about somebody. But a lot of these song meaning websites determined that this song, Carmen, is actually Lana. And this was about her life before she was a celebrity, before she was famous. Now, I don't know much about her personal life or her story. This is literally the first album I've ever listened to of hers. So I don't really know a lot of the background, but some of the lyrics, boys to girls, they all like Carmen. She gives them butterflies, bats her cartoon eyes. She laughs like God, her mind's like a diamond. Buy her tonight, she's still shining. Carmen, Carmen, staying up till morning, only 17, but she walks the streets so mean. It's alarming, truly how disarming you can be. Eating soft ice cream, Coney Island queen. She says you don't want to be like me, looking for fun. Get me high for free, I'm dying. You don't want to be like me, street walking at night and a star by day. So what I'm picking up from a couple of those lines there is that she is trying to be a celebrity. She's working on it. It seems like, judging by the time, maybe she's 17. And it says walking the streets at night but a star by day, meaning she's dealing with living on the streets and that nightlife and what that can bring, things like getting drunk or get me high for free. But the overall vibe of the song, even if that is not correct, was that this was just about Lana's troubled past and growing up and living on the streets. And you can pick up a lot of those themes there. So I actually liked that the beat was disturbing and uncomfortable because she was trying to tell a story of a time in which she was disturbed and uncomfortable. And all those things kind of tied together in this. So I like that. Again, sometimes it's hard when you hear a song like Carmen, that's someone's name. And so you start to like try to envision what's happening in the song, and then when you look it up, it's something totally different. But that's cool, and I did see that in an interview, she did say that the majority of these songs on here, or all of these songs, are reflections of moments that she's had in her life. Okay, the next song is called $1 Million Man.
You said I was the most exotic flower.
How did she do so many vocal styles so easily?
I don't know what you do for the money, until for the show. Something so strange, hard to define.
Again, another song where she spends so much of it building up, even though she's giving us value in every line. And with every beat, you get to the last 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and it's the highlight of the song. The entire thing built that part up. I also just want to take this moment to again point out the fact that she has no issue using so many vocal styles, even just in this song. But again, we're on track 10. We've heard so many different styles from her on this album already. This is the first ballad song, though, that I feel like we've heard. You said I was the most exotic flower, holding me tight in our final hour. I don't know what you do, it's unbelievable, and I don't know how you get over someone as dangerous, tainted, and flawed as you. You got the world, but baby, at what price? Something so strange, it's hard to define. It isn't that hard, boy, to like you or love you. I'd follow you down, you're unbelievable. If you're going crazy, just grab me and take me. I'd follow you down. I don't know. You were screwed up and brilliant and look like $1,000,000 man, so why is my heart broke? I think what I determined from this song is that she's singing about being in love with somebody that she puts on a pedestal. He's got a lot of power, a lot of respect, a lot of fortune and fame, and she doesn't quite understand how he got there, and she can't figure out why she's so captivated with him, even though he seems like such a bad person. Like she's saying, you say I'm your most exotic flower, but then the rest of the song is talking about how he does all these terrible things and how she feels so broken and alone. And then at the very last line of the song, so why is my heart broke? And I think all of that is just defining the fact that she's just in love with this very powerful person who makes her feel like she's everything, but he's got this very tainted and flawed side to him that no one else really sees, and she can't seem to understand, but she does understand when it comes to the feeling of how she feels when they're not together, because how could they be? He's so tainted and flawed, and even though he'll love you so much in that moment, he's not going to care for you after that. He's got too many other things going on that he has to deal with, and getting power and things like that. So that's kind of what I picked up on that. It seemed pretty easy. The lyrics weren't too deep to the point that you couldn't understand it, as long as you were paying attention. And again, I do love the ballad style to this. It almost felt like a love ballad, except at the end it wasn't a happy ending, which is something that I've come to expect from a Lana Del Rey song. Okay, the next song we're gonna listen to, I do know this song, Summertime Sadness. It's crazy hearing so many of these songs and then knowing that this was the first song I ever heard on the radio from her. Not that this song isn't wonderful, because it is, but it's crazy because even just hearing this, I don't feel like you really get an idea of who she really is as an artist. And I see that a lot when I do these album videos, is that I'll listen to an album and then I'll hear the singles like after the fact, like, you know, coming to like track 11, and I'll be like, wow, there's just so many songs that could have been the single that would have given you more of a taste than just this song. But that doesn't discredit this song at all. The song is absolutely wonderful. However, I do think it's interesting when they do that. I still love that song just as much as the first day I ever heard it. I, again, kick myself at the thought that I heard this song when it came out on the radio, and I never thought to just explore Lana Del Rey's catalog there. I've always just associated this song with Lana Del Rey, and that was pretty much it. Never realized just how much I was missing. And it's crazy to me because I wonder how many artists are out there where I've heard a single and the single was great, but I never went any further into their catalog. It makes you wonder just how great those songs could have been. And I often wonder the same with albums. I feel like these days, the single is everything because of the way streaming platforms work and how they get put on these playlists and radios and things like that. They make a video for it, end of the day. But I feel like because of that, albums get overshadowed, especially on streaming platforms. Even though they're so accessible, we're so used to listening to playlists, and it's gonna take the top song and put it on there. And I'm really glad I started doing album videos on this channel because it really makes me sit down and appreciate an album start to finish rather than just the singles. Okay, the next song we're gonna listen to is This Is What Makes Us Girls.
Remember how we used to party up one night, sneaking out, walking down the streets as they were so high. This is what makes us girls. We all look for heaven, but love first.
You know what? I'm picking it up. Every single song she makes almost sounds like it could be on a soundtrack to a movie. I think it has a lot to do with the atmosphere that's put over the beats and the build-up that she does. It all feels like it could come down to like a very emotional moment or a real riveting scene where Lana Del Rey's music starts to play. Like, for some reason, I just picture them in a bar right now, and as it breaks, she like grabs the girl by the hand, they're like running out of the bar, and everything just feels epic or emotional. And that is pretty much what a Lana Del Rey song does for me. I mentioned it in the song, but something about it just feels like we're enjoying a movie. And I think that maybe she's a little bit of a nerd when it comes to movies, because even with the Doing Time video, it was paying homage to the 50-Foot Woman, and it was even like her music videos are all shot like 60s and 70s film, and I can definitely hear that in a lot of the songs. Now, as far as my interpretation of this song goes, remember how we used to party up all night, sneaking out and looking for a taste of real life, drinking in the small town firelight, PBR on ice, Sweet 16 and we had arrived. So I think she's putting us back to a moment when she was in high school, drinking for the first time and kind of just partying around with her friends. And that's where the beginning of the end begun. Everybody that we knew had too much fun. We were skipping school and drinking on the job with the boss. Sweet 16, we had arrived. Babies table dancing at the local dive, cheering our names in the pink spotlight. Talking about, they're getting into more and more trouble, and they're only 16. They're drinking with their boss. They're at bars, dancing on tables, stuff that you wouldn't normally assume 16-year-olds to do. Prettiest in crowd that you've ever seen, ribbons in our hair and our eyes gleam dream. A freshman generation of degenerate beauty. And you know something? They were the only friends I ever had. We got into trouble, and when stuff got bad, I got sent away. I was waving on the train platform, crying because I knew that I'd never come back. So I think she was just talking about those close friends that you make when you're like 16 or 17, you're in high school, and those are the people that you tend to get into trouble with the first time. So you start drinking, maybe experimenting with drugs, sex, things like that. And these people are around for that. And, as she said, she got in a lot of trouble. Her parents sent her away. She knew she'd never see those people again, but those are memories that you'll never forget. And so I think the title, This Is What Makes Us Girls, is just saying makes us girls, makes us friends, makes us close. And this is the reason why we'll always have that closeness and that relationship. Okay, the last song we're gonna listen to is the Born to Die remix with Woodkid and The Shoes. Okay, the remix is okay. The original is so much better though. I don't know, I kind of wish that they would have closed out with something different here, maybe not a remix. This remix could have been on like a bonus album or something. I think for the album it should have ended at 12. I think that was perfect. So I didn't care too much for the remix. It's hard to enjoy a remix if it doesn't add some sort of uniqueness to the original or somehow make the original better. And I feel like Born to Die, the original, you really can't beat that one. So I just want to say that I am totally stoked on this album. It's the first album from Lana Del Rey that I ever listened to. And I'm honestly so intrigued to go through her discography now because, like I said, I knew that I would enjoy probably everything just because of the experimentation that she does with instruments here, just because of the vocals, just because of the challenging lyrics. There's a lot to really take in. I enjoy the fact that she's inspired by all of my favorite music essentially, because I know that the outcome for that is going to be great. I'm able to appreciate the great drums, appreciate the hip hop beats. I'm able to appreciate that just amazing vocal talent that she gives us on every single track on this. And I also like that she experimented with vocal deliveries here. I feel like there's a lot to take in, and I do think that going into the next albums, I'm gonna see that evolution happen a lot. I know a lot of you are gonna be upset that I didn't start with Norman Rockwell. However, I did that vote, and it did seem like you guys cared a lot more about me hearing the entire thing and not just one album. And for that, I'm really appreciative because I'm glad I was able to finally sit down and enjoy this moment. I actually scheduled my day to do Norman Rockwell right now, and instead of that, we did Born to Die, and I'm happy that I did it. There were already a couple tracks I knew off this, and I was a huge fan of those, as you guys know. So I knew that going into this album, if that had a similar sound throughout the entire album, I was gonna enjoy it, and this did not disappoint. There's not a single track I didn't like besides the remix, and I don't even think that counts. I do feel like it shouldn't have been on this album, but there's so much to love from Lana, and I know I already said it 3,000 or 4,000 times, I really can't wait to go through the rest of her discography and just see where she went from this moment, because this is at an all-time high. I'm looking at some of the stream counts, and Summertime Sadness had 266 million streams. Like, that's such a huge number, and that's something no one can take away. And even when I go through Born to Die and things, those are at 230 million streams. Like, this is huge. Lana is much bigger than I even anticipated her being, and I'm not just saying that because of her walking around LA in the Doing Time video. I mean, she's literally such a huge star, but she doesn't seem to make music that would make you think that she would be. I just feel like these blends are something that are very unique, but it's a niche, but it's really not. There's so many people that are supporting her, and I love that. So I believe the next album that I have to check out from her is Paradise. Let me know in the comment section a couple things. One, let me know your favorite and your least favorite. Also, let me know what album you're most excited for me to check out on this channel. And of course, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We're on the road to 200,000 subscribers. I cannot do that without you, so make sure to smash subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All the links are down below. If you want to help support the channel, you can check out the Patreon. There are cool membership benefits. It's one one of the first links in the description. Make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me today. I know you could be listening to Norman F-wording Rockwell, but instead you decided to hang out with me, and I appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.